Our last reactive change strategy is number 8, redeployment of resources. And we've got that grouped as one where we can change the finances of the business and where and how we spend money. So what is this? Well, we could say redeployment of resources is where we take the resources that were being used in one area of the business which might not be performing very well, and we shift them and move them to other areas that are more profitable and productive. So those resources can be natural resources, so we can shift electricity, gas, water, minerals, etc. from one place to another. The labor, so we can either shift an entire department of employees or maybe just some of the better employees over to another area. Or capital. So capital, for our purposes, we'll just say money, things that cost money, the machinery, equipment, IT, etc. We can spend that in more profitable departments than in old departments that aren't sort of achieving much anymore. So some specific examples we could use, we could say, well, we could move resources from making an older product, so the iPod, which is still sold, but not much. But we're probably, if I'm Apple, not going to devote many resources to that. Most of our resources are now moved to newer products like iPhones, iPods, etc. We could also do it and say, well, we can actually move it from an entire category. So we could move it from the iPhones to Apple. We're going to look at this in another topic and say, well, they're actually sort of diverting resources to some other areas which we're going to call services like Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, and Apple Health. So to an entirely different product category. We can redeploy resources from if General Motors, so look at the Hummer big four-wheel drive type SUV type product. Probably not the future though, given the way the world's going. Electric cars are going to be the future. So GM has said we're going to stop making cars like this by 2035 and we're going to divert or redeploy those resources to electric cars. Oh, actually GM's done that from one brand. You move resources from an entire brand, Holden, that is now defunct, and GM is going to divert those resources to their other brands like Chevrolet, for example, and that's what you'll be able to buy in Australia. At the most extreme example, you could divert resources and say we're no longer going to focus on a particular market, e.g. maybe the American market is no longer profitable for our business, so we focus all those resources that we were going to spend and use on that market and send them to another market that's growing, such as China or India, for example. So what does this strategy involve? Well, we take our KPIs at the end of last year and we say we need to fix them, we've got to respond, and we're going to redeploy resources. Now, there's some particular KPIs that will help. It won't, it could potentially fix all of them, but we'll focus on these ones. And we will say we redeploy resources from one area of the business which is not performing well to another area that is more profitable and productive. That means we'll stop wasting resources. So if we stop wasting resources on things that are performing badly, that's going to increase productivity. And then we're going to use those resources in the areas that are most likely to enable profits in the future. And lastly, we can then use that money or the extra profits that we get to invest in new strategies and technologies that will improve the business. And if we do that, we're going to have happier customers, so lower complaints. We're going to have more sales because customers want to buy with us. That increases our market share, and then our overall net profit is going to be better too.